crypto pig locked in this magical universe, and I'm gonna huff, and I'm gonna puff, and I'm gonna blow the criminal gangster cartel out of the water that has locked me in here and fleece heisted and shisted you and walked away with all the fucking money. And we're gonna take them out one step at a time as I figure out how to get out of this vortex of hell. Vincenzo's gold crypto investing. And you can see the coins are collapsing as expected. You can see we did have a little bit of a bounce in Luna. If we zoom out to the 3-hour time frame, you can see it did actually hit where we were talking about yesterday when the price was up in there. Your first area for some sort of bounce would be around the 200-day moving average in the 3 or the 4-hour. And then your next support is below that. And I do think now seeing this, that it's going to do something like this. And we are going to end out down here at the 0.00203, which you can see currently we had a nice little bounce off the 200-day moving average, but I think it's going to get rejected in here, or at the highest it can get would be right in there. I think you would be rejected. So that's what's going on there. We're just going to do a little rundown here because we had a big move in the Bitcoin price yesterday. Then you can see in this channel that we were in, that we were watching, we did fall out of it and we broke this critical 21,747, and we're sitting on the 50-day moving average in the 3-hour time frame, just above the 200 and 100-day in blue and green respectively. And that's your support level. If you need to hold these moving averages right here to sort of remain short-term bullish and maybe try to come back up to the upside. But if you start trading on these moving averages and below that 21,747, you're likely to breach that and come down to the top part of this blue support zone down there at 19.5 at here at a local double bottom on this pattern breakdown, because out of this little formation, you would think if you can't hold these moving averages, this would be the next area of major support that you would come down to, and then it would be a decision. Do you move to the next leg to the downside, which would be the bottom part of this support zone at 16.569 even down here, right? That would be your next support zone if you breach the 200-day moving average right there, and then you can't hold a local double bottom from back here on the top part of this blue support zone. If you trade through that, you're going to come down to 16.569. So the current area to watch is this 200-day moving average and this red horizontal resistance zone that we drew out because we noticed and took notice back here that this was the last resistance zone before another leg to the downside. So we knew on our way back up, this area would be a major area of resistance, and it has turned into a major area of resistance. As we noticed, the price was up and sideways consolidating, and the volume was decreasing. And then we had a high in volume in 3-hour, and then a lower high in volume as the price was rising. That was starting to tell us that the buyers or the bulls were being exhausted, and the sellers or the bears were taking over the market, right? Same thing with Ethereum. Remember when this price was pumping up from back down here? Let's get rid of that, and let's get rid of that. Remember when the price started to bounce in the 3-hour time frame back here after it got rejected? We came through this big volume indicator zone, peaked out but got rejected, and the bears drove the price all the way back down, and we almost touched to a T this uptrending green ring. We laid out that the major upper resistance was 18,256, this descending blue fib circle, and this upper part of the volume indicator zone, because now we're coming at it from the bottom side, which is bearish, that the price would tend to get rejected. And look at that, we hit this blue fib circle beautifully. We've traded down along it, and now recently we've had a big flush, right? See how that works? That's why that fib circle was there. Now on the way down, your next lower support would be this green fib circle again, right? And if you can't hold that, that's where you have big problems, because for the last about 2.5 months, you've been just riding this fib circle as support to the upside, and then running into the volume indicator area as resistance. And then now you came back down to support the green fib circle, but it was about 2 months later. That was June 19th. And then this was September 2nd, and it was slightly uptrending. So when you hit it down here, it was at 1,000 and change. When you hit it up here, it was at 1,300 and change. But if you come back down here and you can't hold this 1507.58 green fib circle, you're probably coming all the way back down to this blue support zone, which is the old traded area back here when you got supported on this uptrending green ring, and that's down at $1,117.29, because the next major area or fib circle below that is all the way down here at 600 and change, right? Nobody wants to see that happen. So this is a critical area into this tightening consolidation of a descending fib circle and an uptrending fib circle. It's sort of forming a nice consolidation right there. And then you're going to come into an apex here in about 10 days. And you're either going to have a big flush to the downside, or there's going to be a big relief rally to the upside where you can make a run at 2148. The odds and the probabilities suggest that we're going to come on down to the downside, and I'm looking for a hyper volatile period in Ethereum. XRP again, just like we've been talking about since June, early June too, is this red area, your volume indicator has been getting supported, and then this overhead 37-cent major upper resistance rejection, right? Support, rejection, support, rejection, right? It's just been a repeating process. Rejection, pump back up, support, rejected, pump back up, get near the 37 cents, rejected. And now you can see we're getting rejected in the 3-hour time frame. And if you can't hold these moving averages, it's the same as the other coins. You're going to come back down to 32 and then eventually 29. And then if we breach that 29, you come down to 26, and then in a big fall and a big flush on the next leg to the downside, you're going to hit this 18 to 20 cent target that we've had in XRP for quite some time, since the price was way above $1.50 of last year. We could foresee the macro time frame pattern. Like, subscribe, and share. Peace and love to you, yes, you, the beautiful audience.